Yeah, this my shit right here. This my kind of shit right here. Yeah, y'all know me, son. Can I ball? Can I chill? Can I stunt? Will I live long enough to raise my son? Make something out of nothing. Do nothing where I'm from. Can your boy do something productive for once?
We're back again with another strain review, and today we have the Sour Fuel coming from Doja. And this one actually is supposed to be a cross of the Sour D times SFOG. And I can't lie, sometimes I get very weird when I see something that says Sour D instead of Sour Diesel. I always question, I'm like, what do they mean by that? But as you can see, it has the whole tests and all that stuff, which I don't really think matters that much. But now they have these scratch parts, which you can actually scratch this right here and you can look it up, which I think is really cool. I think that is a cool thing to put on the thing if you want to make sure people actually feel safe buying certain products. So before we get into reviewing and telling you my opinions on everything, what even is this? It's a cross of SFOG and Sour D, so what is that going to lead us to? It's going to be more of a daytime type of strain, so this one definitely is going to be perfect if you are going to some sort of like beach, amusement park, or something like that. But how is it? Is this stuff actually smoking? Is this batch actually good? Let's get to reviewing. So as you can see in the video right here, the flower is beautiful. It is definitely something that is going to have great structure. It even is going to look good after being in a Mylar bag, which is something that I am always kind of surprised with. Some of the stuff that we see that gets put into Mylar bags just gets trashed by the Mylar bag. It ends up squeezing it to death because it's always going to be something that just can't have any way of holding it together. It's not going to be a jar that actually is going to protect it. You know what I mean. But it looked good after even being in a Mylar bag. That is something that I thought was a huge plus for it. It is something that has that OG or just Kush look to it, so it's going to have great structure. It's going to be something that looks beautiful, but it has that classic look that some of the new school fans might not be a huge fan of. I know some people don't want me to say this. I've had people comment to me saying don't say this anymore, but some people want to see purple nowadays, and this is not going to have purple. It's not going to be anything that you will... It's not going to be candy, and I don't think candy is even something that really makes sense anymore. I actually have a video coming out that is going to be talking about, is candy dead? Because I think it is dead. I think that the demand on it is dead, not only due to the different people who were selling it before kind of switching up on it, but it's also just in a weird time right now where it's just not being grown at a good level, where people are trying to go out and source it from different places, where it's just it's falling off, let's just say it like that to keep it short. But the look on this one, a 9.5 out of 10, I feel is fair. This one is definitely going to be something that is going to look good to everyone, no matter if you are those people who only like purple, whatever, you still would be like, okay, that looks good. That moves us to the smell. The smell on this one's going to be a 6. I'm not going to say that this one's going to be super good by the smell. I think a lot of people are actually not going to be attracted to this one off the smell, which is what it is. It is definitely not going to be something that has that super gassy, grab your attention type smell. It is going to be a little bit sour. It's going to have a little bit of that Swedish sour smell that is not super appealing to someone like me, because I'm not really into those sours that have that more sweet side to it. But I would say on the taste, it's not necessarily going to fully match the smell, which is something that I am not always happy with. Sometimes I want the taste and the smell to like go together perfectly to show me that it is actually legitimate. But I would say that the taste is actually much better than the smell. So when we move on to the taste, I would say this one's probably getting about like an 8 out of 10. For the taste, I would say that it's definitely much better than the smell, as I just said. and I would say that the taste on this one is actually going to be something that gives off a much more gassy fuel type taste that is enjoyable. I would say the sour fuel name is definitely something that is well deserved to be put on this. But you want to hear something that's funny, is that I heard there's some New York brands that are out there right now calling this sour diesel. I think that anything being called sour diesel is tragic, and it's like a good representation of why sour diesel actually died off, is because people went out of their way so much to rename things this and that when it wasn't sour diesel. It wasn't sour diesel for a long time. It was actually just chemdog, and people were calling it this and that, and the water gets muddy, let's say it like that, and people lose track of their lives, let's say it like that. So where were we? I could definitely see why someone could call it sour diesel, though. I would definitely say this one has a very sour fuel type taste, and it's a very interesting taste that's going to be enjoyable somehow, some way. I actually do really think that this one shows its power and its taste and the high, which is something that I'm always looking for. I think that when it shows its power in the look and the smell, and then it just has no good high, no good effect, and no good taste, then it's hot garbage, basically. It's a pig with lipstick on. So when we move on to the high, this one is actually going to be getting an 8. I think that an 8 is very fair. I would say this is definitely great daytime smoke that is going to be creative fuel. Let's say it like that. I think creative fuel is a great way of representing this. It's going to be something that is very much going to put you in this state of euphoria, that is going to be very much clear-minded and very much focused. It's not going to be one of those ones that has super racy thoughts, which is very weird because it has SFVOG in the mix, and SFVOG is one of those ones that every single time I've had it in the past, it gets me super racy, super almost anxious, and it is not one of the ones that I really enjoy. So to see this one getting mixed with a few different strains recently, and to see that it has better effects when it is in the genetic, or when it's starting to get mixed in with different things, is very interesting. It's very interesting to see. I think that that is one of those strains that probably would be best as a tool, and there's a lot of strains that are like that. They're better as tools than they are just as is on their own. It's more of one of those I don't know a great example of how to explain it right now, but I think everyone understands what I'm saying. So we can move on. I would say that SFVOG is one of those ones that I usually hate. This one, really enjoyed it though. Definitely enjoyed it. Overall though, how would I rate this? I would say a 7.9. Fair to say. It's not the cream of the crop. It's not going to be like the best thing in the world that you ever tried. But I would say for the price, great. It's very good for the price. Not only that, it's also something that is not going to disappoint when it comes to the two things that are really going to matter, the taste and the high. I think those two things get skipped over in a lot of the sales pitches from a lot of these different people who are trying to tell you, oh, you need to be smoking 3.5 at a time, you need to be smoking this, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. Let's get back to the basics. What if someone's smoking out of a bong? What if someone's smoking out of whatever? This right here definitely will check those boxes for those people, and I think that's actually something that needs to be talked about. I think that that's what a connoisseur is someone who understands all sides of the market. So when there's all these people trying to gaslight you, try to telling you need to be rolling up a 3.5 for it to even have any taste, that's usually someone that smokes crappy weed, terrible weed, and you probably shouldn't listen to them. So if it doesn't have any taste and you're rolling up like a 0.7, then that's also trash weed too. You should be able to have great taste from whatever size you roll up, as long as it's not like a fucking skinny little thing that's not even have any airflow. But went off track. Much love and respect. Let's I should have a few more reviews coming in the near future, and I also am going to post in a lot more content on my other channel. If you're interested in seeing a lot more of my content, go check out my other channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more stuff on there. Mainly the other stuff is going to be it's going to be fun for the people who like this. I definitely think that the people who watch this channel will enjoy the Freedom Rally video that I'm going to be doing probably in the next week or so. I'm going to be posting one talking about the history of the Freedom Rally in Boston, why it even started, and actually really cool history to that. So much love and respect.